Hey, it's Buddy Lee. Welcome to my channel. So I was lucky enough to pull Dr. Voodoo from the previous featured 6-star crystal, and he's such an old favorite of mine that I used a Mystic Awakening gem on him, gave him 20 SIGs, and took him to rank 3. He's SIG 20 now, but I'll probably add a few more SIGs and get his increased buff and debuff duration to 100%. So let's jump right into some gameplay against Labyrinth Old Man Logan, and then we'll take on 6.2 champion and finally a couple fights from a path where he excels in Act 7.4. So Voodoo isn't the do-everything champ that he was back in the day, because we have many more options for the things he does well, but in matchups that have many buffs or need a lot of power control, he still does extremely well. And when you use Mystic Dispersion with him in buff matchups, he can do some really awesome stuff. So in this fight, I'm going to go to SP3 first, which I like doing in some long fights. It gives time to build up some Loas, and it's going to give us extra power gain and drain some of Old Man Logan's power as well. And then we'll start placing all the poisons with SP1. I'm also going to be using even combo specials because I don't want the ability accuracy reduction to prevent Old Man Logan from going into berserk mode and giving us buffs to turn into poisons. Now we're ready to unleash the specials, and you'll see that MD allows us to just keep throwing them non-stop. Old Man Logan basically can't take a breath before getting hit with another special, and we have almost nothing coming back at us. He sneaks a heavy attack in on us, but no worries, we launch an SP1 and place a bunch more poisons in response. So this fight is a good example of what makes Voodoo fun. I have 3 points in MD here, and we're able to just keep cycling specials, placing a ton of poisons, but also have pretty solid power gain without even trying. Voodoo did this fight with a pretty low hit count, and we had a ton of buffs to convert to poisons, so he isn't going to do this everywhere, but he will in the places that I'm going to be using him. Next up, let's take on 6.2 Champion, and this fight was really fun. I did crank up MD to 5 points for this one. We're going to build up to SP3 for this one again to start things off. I throw SP3 in an odd combo here. This extends all of our debuffs, so power burn and things like stun and poisons will be almost doubled while in this mode. I used a long stun to get to my SP1, but I was a little late throwing it, so he blocks it. I'm able to avoid being punished for that though. Then I use my SP1 to convert the buffs, and this takes me right back to another SP3. Every time we nullify and convert a bunch of buffs, we'll go right to SP3. We'll start landing our SP1s on odd combos, which won't nullify all the buffs on the champion after a bit into this fight, so that we can spam our specials more. At this point, we're just going to spam special 1s and 2s back to back. The champion is very aggressive, so he makes this easy to do. The champion was shut down as we just spammed all those specials, taking him down to the final 10%, so now all that's left is to dex a few specials and knock him out. We get our 3 dexes and the champion is down. Now let's finish this up with a couple fights from Act 7.4, and this path has Civil War Zone node, where the defender gets an armor buff every time that you hit them, and then they convert those into Fury when throwing a special. I didn't scroll down all the way, but we also have Return Policy to prevent the attacker from using Nullify to counter this node, but Voodoo can still do it with his power control along with his Nullify, and get around and cheese this node. So first I'm going to build the SP2 and throw it on an even combo to activate our power burn. He's going to get power from us nullifying the Loas, but we know that he can't get to 3 bars because the power drain that Voodoo does happens after the hits land. I was slow on the SP1 to convert all of those Furies because I wanted to wait for the evade to go away, but we get SP3 instead from MD, and we're able to get a nice stack of poisons afterwards. We got a stack of 22 poisons that are basically going to end this fight, though I do throw one more SP3. We'll do one more of these fights, and this time I was able to get 40 poisons on this vulture. So Voodoo was able to get around this node that was set up to penalize nullified champions. So I'm really happy with my 6-star Voodoo. He isn't the Beyond God tier that he used to be, but he's still great and very fun to play. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.